Embracing independence. Thriving while living alone as an older adult. Living alone as an older adult can be one of the most empowering and fulfilling experiences, offering a unique opportunity for self-discovery, freedom, and peace. It allows you to shape your daily routine according to your own preferences, free from the compromises that often come with shared living. However, while this lifestyle offers many rewards, it also presents challenges that require careful planning and intentional choices to maintain health, safety, and emotional well-being. Many older adults worry that living alone may lead to loneliness, health neglect, or difficulty managing daily responsibilities. Society often associates aging with dependency, making it seem like seniors must either remarry, move into a nursing home, or hire full-time caregivers to live comfortably. However, that is not the only path. With the right mindset and strategies, living alone can be an enriching and deeply satisfying experience. In this guide, we will explore 10 key aspects of successfully living alone in later years, from staying socially connected to maintaining a safe and manageable home environment. We'll discuss the importance of health, financial stability, and finding a sense of purpose, all while ensuring that independence does not turn into isolation. By taking proactive steps and making small but meaningful adjustments, you can thrive in this stage of life, living confidently, securely, and joyfully. Whether you are already living alone or preparing for this transition, these insights will help you embrace the freedom that comes with it while avoiding common pitfalls. Let's explore how you can make this chapter of your life truly fulfilling. 1. Overcoming the fear of living alone. The thought of living alone in old age can be frightening. When surrounded by family or a spouse for most of life, the idea of suddenly being on your own can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing. Questions creep in. What if I get sick? What if something happens and no one is there to help? Will I be lonely? These fears are natural, but they shouldn't stop you from embracing the independence and freedom that living alone can offer. At first, the silence can be unsettling. Waking up without hearing another person moving around, sitting at the dinner table alone, or spending long evenings with no conversation can make loneliness feel inescapable. The lack of daily companionship can turn into isolation if one is not careful. Many older adults fear that without someone around, they will gradually disappear from the world, becoming forgotten. But this fear, though real, can be overcome. Living alone does not mean living in solitude. Instead, it presents an opportunity to build a life that is intentionally fulfilling. The key is to stay proactive, to create routines, reach out to friends, and stay socially engaged. Simple actions, like scheduling weekly calls with loved ones, joining local groups, or even chatting with neighbors, can transform the experience of living alone from isolating to empowering. Instead of being trapped by fear, view this stage as a chance to redefine life on your own terms. Living alone can be a time of self-discovery, peace, and joy, but it starts with the courage to embrace it rather than fear it. 2. The fear of neglecting health and the power of self-care. One of the biggest fears of living alone as an older adult is the risk of neglecting personal health. Without a spouse or family member around to remind you to take medications, eat well, or stay active, it's easy to let small habits slip. Over time, minor oversights, skipping a meal, missing a doctor's appointment, or avoiding exercise, can turn into serious health issues. The thought of falling ill with no one there to help can feel terrifying. What if an emergency happens in the middle of the night? What if a simple injury leads to something worse? The fear of declining health while alone can become paralyzing. Many older adults avoid doctor visits because they don't want to hear bad news. Some may lose motivation to cook balanced meals or to exercise, thinking, "Why bother? No one else is here to care. Slowly, bad habits set in, and independence can become a struggle rather than a blessing. The isolation can lead to depression, which in turn affects physical well-being. It's a dangerous cycle. But here's the truth. Your health is your greatest asset, and living alone doesn't mean neglecting it. Setting up daily routines can help. Small actions like using a pill organizer, setting alarms for medication, or meal prepping nutritious food can make all the difference. Staying active, even if it's just a short walk or stretching, keeps the body strong. Regular check-ins with doctors, friends, or support groups can provide accountability. Fear can either paralyze or push you to take control. Living alone means being responsible for yourself, and that's a powerful thing. By prioritizing self-care, you can stay healthy, independent, and in control of your life. 3. The fear of safety. Risks and the importance of preparedness. Living alone as an older adult brings a unique kind of fear. What if something happens and no one is there to help? A simple accident, like slipping in the bathroom or tripping over a rug, can quickly turn into a terrifying situation. The thought of falling and lying helpless for hours or even days is enough to send a shiver down anyone's spine. Without someone immediately available to assist, small hazards in the home can become life-threatening obstacles. This fear is not unfounded. Many older adults who live alone face emergencies that could have been prevented with better planning. A sudden health issue, a heart attack, a dizzy spell, or even a moment of forgetfulness while cooking can quickly escalate. The realization that you might not be able to reach for help can be deeply unsettling. The fear of vulnerability, of being completely alone in a moment of crisis, can cause anxiety and stress on a daily basis. However, fear should never lead to paralysis. It should lead to action. Creating a safe and secure home environment can significantly reduce risks. Simple adjustments like installing grab bars in the bathroom, removing loose rugs, improving lighting, and keeping essential items within reach can make a big difference. Technology also offers peace of mind. Personal emergency response systems, smart home devices, and medical alert buttons can ensure help is just a click away. Instead of letting fear dictate life, take proactive steps to ensure safety. Living alone doesn't have to mean living in fear. It can mean living securely and confidently, knowing that your home is a place of protection and peace, not danger. The fear of an overwhelming home and the lesson of letting go. As we age, the home that was once a place of comfort and joy can become a source of stress and exhaustion. What used to be simple tasks, cleaning, yard work, repairs, now feel overwhelming. The fear starts creeping in. What if I can't keep up? What if my home becomes too much for me to handle? The idea of a cluttered, unmanageable space can be paralyzing, making it harder to truly enjoy life. Many older adults hold on to large homes out of sentimentality. They fear that downsizing means letting go of memories or admitting they can't handle things like before. But as time passes, the reality becomes clearer. Maintaining a big house alone can be draining. Some struggle in silence, avoiding necessary changes until the burden becomes too great. The truth is, your home should serve you, not control you. Downsizing or simplifying isn't about losing something. It's about gaining freedom. Moving to a smaller, more manageable space or seeking help for household tasks can relieve stress. One woman, after years of resisting, finally let go of her large house for a cozy apartment. The result? A lighter heart, fewer worries, and more energy for things that truly matter. Lesson learned. Holding on to a home that no longer serves your needs can weigh you down. Whether it's downsizing, hiring help, or organizing your space, making intentional changes allows you to live with ease, comfort, and peace. Letting go is not about loss. It's about creating a home that supports your independence, not burdens it. Dearstiff, the fear of falling into unhealthy habits and the power of discipline. One of the silent dangers of living alone in old age is the ease with which unhealthy habits can creep in. Without someone there to notice or encourage better choices, it's easy to skip meals, stay sedentary, or fall into irregular sleeping patterns. The fear of losing control over personal well-being becomes real. What if I stop taking care of myself? What if my health declines because no one is watching? Many older adults unknowingly fall into harmful routines. They might eat poorly, sit for long hours, or neglect exercise simply because no one is there to remind them otherwise. Some start sleeping irregularly, skipping meals, or relying on processed foods out of convenience. Over time, these small habits accumulate, leading to weaker bodies, lower energy, and declining health. But here's the truth. Living alone is a responsibility as much as it is a freedom. It requires discipline and self-awareness. Setting small but intentional habits, like planning meals, going for daily walks, stretching, or engaging in hobbies, can transform the experience of living alone from a health risk into an opportunity for self-care. One man, after realizing he had gone weeks without eating properly, started meal prepping every Sunday. He found that having a plan kept him accountable and healthier. Lesson learned: independence should not mean neglect. Small, mindful habits create a stronger body, clearer mind, and a more fulfilling life. Living alone should be a time of thriving, not just surviving. Lacks the fear of losing purpose and the power of meaningful engagement. One of the greatest fears of living alone in old age is waking up and wondering, what am I living for? Without the structure of a career, the daily presence of family, or the responsibilities that once filled each day, many older adults struggle with a deep sense of emptiness. The fear of becoming irrelevant, forgotten, or without purpose can be overwhelming. After retirement or the loss of a spouse, days can start to blend together, one quiet morning after another, with no clear reason to get up and engage with the world. This lack of structure can lead to isolation, depression, and a feeling of being disconnected from life. Many fall into routines of watching endless television, scrolling through social media, or simply passing time rather than truly living. But purpose doesn't have to end with age. It just needs to be rediscovered. Finding meaning can be as simple as picking up a forgotten hobby, volunteering, joining a community group, or mentoring younger generations. One woman, who once feared that her best years were behind her, started volunteering at a local food bank and found joy in giving back. She said, "Helping others made me feel alive again." Lesson learned: life is not measured by how busy you are, but by how meaningful each moment feels. Engaging in passions, connections, and contributions keeps the heart and mind full of life. Living alone should never mean living without purpose. Combine the fear of doing everything alone and the strength in seeking support. One of the biggest fears of living alone as an older adult is the feeling that everything is on your shoulders. The idea of handling household chores, medical appointments, financial responsibilities, and emergencies alone can feel overwhelming. What if I need help but have no one to call? What if I become a burden to my family? These thoughts can be paralyzing, making it easy to retreat into isolation rather than reaching out. Many older adults hesitate to ask for help because they don't want to be a burden. They convince themselves that they must handle everything alone to prove their independence. But over time, this mindset can lead to stress, exhaustion, and even resentment. Simple tasks like carrying groceries, fixing a leaky faucet, or arranging transportation for doctor visits can become overwhelming. And in moments of true need, like a sudden illness or injury, being alone without a support system can turn fear into reality. However, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. Support doesn't have to mean losing independence. It means building a network that allows you to live life fully. Whether it's a trusted neighbor, a friend, a family member, or a local senior support service, having people to rely on makes life easier and more enjoyable. One man who once refused help later realized that allowing his children to assist with small tasks actually strengthened their relationship. He found that by opening up, he wasn't a burden. He was a loved and valued part of their lives. Lesson learned. Independence doesn't mean isolation. Seeking help when needed is an act of self-care and strength. Having a support system in place allows you to live confidently and securely, knowing you don't have to face everything alone. Accepting support doesn't take away from your independence. It enhances it. 8. The fear of financial instability and the power of financial organization. One of the most unsettling fears of living alone in old age is the fear of financial instability. Without a spouse or family member to share financial responsibilities, the burden of managing bills, budgeting, and planning for unexpected expenses falls entirely on one person. The thought of forgetting to pay a bill, running out of savings, or being taken advantage of financially can lead to constant stress. What if I miscalculate my expenses? What if I fall victim to a scam? What if I outlive my savings? These worries can consume the mind and make everyday life feel uncertain. For many older adults, financial organization was once a shared responsibility. After losing a spouse or retiring, they suddenly find themselves navigating bank statements, investments, and insurance policies alone. Some avoid financial planning altogether out of fear or confusion, leading to missed payments, unnecessary fees, or unwise spending habits. Others, overwhelmed by paperwork and digital banking systems, let important documents pile up, creating chaos and vulnerability. But financial security doesn't have to be a source of fear. It can be a source of empowerment. The key is organization and proactive planning. Setting up automated bill payments, keeping financial records in one secure place, and reviewing expenses regularly can eliminate stress. Seeking guidance from a financial advisor, a trusted family member, or senior financial services can also provide clarity and protection. One woman, after struggling to keep up with her bills, asked her daughter for help. They set up a simple monthly review system, allowing her to track her spending with confidence. Lesson learned. Taking control of your finances is taking control of your future. Organizing your money, planning wisely, and seeking help when needed will provide peace of mind and stability. Financial independence is not just about having enough. It's about knowing you are secure and in control. The fear of a disorganized home and the power of creating a peaceful space. As we age, our home should be a sanctuary of comfort and peace. But for many older adults living alone, it can slowly become a place of stress and overwhelm. The fear of clutter piling up, essential items getting misplaced, or home maintenance becoming too much to handle can be unsettling. What if I trip over something and get injured? What if my home becomes too much for me to manage? What if it no longer feels like a place of peace, but a source of anxiety? At first, it's easy to ignore the clutter. A pile of mail left on the table, a closet filled with old clothes, a garage stacked with unused items. These things don't seem like a big deal. But over time, a disorganized home can make daily life more difficult and even dangerous. Simple tasks like finding important documents, cooking meals, or moving safely from room to room become frustrating and exhausting. For some, the emotional attachment to belongings makes it painful to let go, leading to an accumulation of unnecessary items that create stress rather than comfort. However, decluttering and organizing your home is not about losing memories. It's about creating a space where you can truly thrive. Start with small, manageable steps, like clearing one drawer or donating a few unused items. Labeling important documents, keeping frequently used items within reach, and ensuring pathways are clear can make a significant difference. One woman, overwhelmed by years of accumulated belongings, decided to downsize. She found that letting go of unnecessary clutter freed her from stress and allowed her to enjoy her home in a whole new way. Lesson learned: a home should be a place of peace, not a burden. Keeping your living space organized, functional, and safe will reduce stress, enhance comfort, and create an environment where you can truly relax and enjoy life. A well-maintained home is a reflection of a well-cared-for life. 10. The fear of letting go and the freedom in releasing. Sentimental clutter. One of the hardest challenges of living alone as an older adult is the fear of letting go of sentimental belongings. Every object seems to hold a memory, a story, a piece of the past that feels too precious to part with. The idea of donating a loved one's clothes, throwing away old letters, or clearing out storage spaces can feel like erasing history. What if I regret getting rid of something? What if I lose a connection to my past? What if I feel even more alone without these things around me? At first, keeping everything seems harmless, even comforting. But as the years pass, items accumulate, storage spaces overflow, and a home that was once spacious starts to feel crowded. Instead of bringing joy, these objects become sources of guilt and overwhelm. Instead of honoring memories, they become reminders of what has been lost. For many, the fear of parting with sentimental clutter leads to a house full of things, but an absence of peace. However, letting go does not mean forgetting. It means making space for the present while still cherishing the past. A helpful approach is keeping only the most meaningful items and finding creative ways to preserve memories. For example, taking photos of sentimental objects before donating them, creating a memory box with a few cherished items, or passing meaningful possessions on to loved ones can keep memories alive without the burden of clutter. One man, struggling to part with his late wife's belongings, decided to turn her favorite clothes into a quilt, allowing him to keep a piece of her close in a way that was both meaningful and practical. Lesson learned: memories live in your heart, not in objects. Letting go of sentimental clutter does not erase the past. It creates room for a lighter, freer future. By keeping only what truly matters and releasing the rest, you allow yourself to live fully in the present, with space for joy, peace, and new experiences, embracing independence and joy in living alone. Living alone as an older adult comes with its challenges, but it also offers a unique opportunity to embrace independence, rediscover purpose, and create a fulfilling life on your own terms. By staying socially connected, prioritizing health, ensuring home safety, maintaining an organized space, and letting go of unnecessary burdens, you can turn this stage of life into one of freedom and personal growth. Rather than fearing loneliness, aging, or change, view this chapter as a chance to design a life that truly brings you joy. Surround yourself with meaningful connections, take care of your well-being, and make your home a sanctuary of peace. Most importantly, remember that living alone does not mean facing life alone. With intention, mindfulness, and a willingness to adapt, you can thrive in solitude, embrace each moment, and continue living with purpose and fulfillment.